Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Coach's Box. We want to start the show with an important announcement. As of Monday, Riley Blair is no longer affiliated in any part of the Coach's Box, Call It Like We See It podcast, nor a member of Off the Rails Media and any of its broadcasts. So with that being said, welcome to the Coach's Box.
Warning, the following broadcast contains strong opinions, playful antics, and controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
Hey!
Hello!
Wow, it was like just kind of all of a sudden. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Coach's Box. I think it's episode 163. So, yeah, we've been doing this for a while. How you guys doing this evening?
Doing well.
Doing well.
Wow, everybody at once.
Doing great.
I just want to know. Go ahead,
How's
Jim.
Jarvis doing?
That's exactly what I was thinking. So, Jarvis, how you feeling, buddy?
I feel flushed out.
Are you lighter?
Yeah, a few pounds lighter today.
6 to be exact.
At least six, maybe.
Who had
7.
that on the over/under?
I had the over, so
Well,
he is full of it. I mean, you would expect that.
Not anymore.
not anymore.
Well, I just got done eating. I'm recuperating.
Oh, man.
Adding it back, man. Adding it back.
Yes, I'm feeling it.
He's got to get back to his playing weight.
Yes.
So,
Let's not discuss the numbers, okay? Because they are large. They are large right now.
nobody here on this show is going to judge. Good gosh.
No.
Not
Heck no.
happening. Not happening.
And by the way,
Uh-oh.
congratulations on Jarvis's sudden weight loss over the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
But also, we have a 200-game winner in our mix.
Same sentence, Kevin. Tell us how you feel about
Kevin,
that.
that was your 200th. Awesome.
That just means I've been doing it too long.
I
Bound to get
And
there
you got a
eventually.
good scorekeeper for it yesterday.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, we're going to give Miller the credit on this
Absolutely not.
one. In his absolute penciled gibberish he has all over my scorebook.
Listen, when you ask me to do something I haven't done in a long time, this is what's going to happen.
I believe your exact words were, "Who still keeps a paper scorebook?"
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, don't
Right.
you have Game Changer? Like, come on, bro.
Yes,
Keep up.
I keep both. I'm too
Old.
anal to just let
Old.
one run it.
Yeah, let's not use the word anal today. Yeah.
Hey, big shout out to
flashbacks.
Hey, big shout out to friend of the show, Dr. Verzola.
Yes, Dr. Eddie Verzola, who I've known. I went to his father when I was a kid, so I've known his family forever, and he got to know me a little better today.
Yeah,
I'm glad you all, when you get to this age, when you all have to have this wonderful procedure.
been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
Really? I'm the only one that
You're
hasn't?
the only one who
Yeah.
hasn't done it.
I'll tell you, Zach, the day before is no fun.
Oh,
Yeah, everybody says like, "Oh, colonoscopy, that's bad." I'm like, no, it's the day before it. Get ready for it.
The day before was yeah, and all I've done since I got home was sleep, though. So
Hey, that's all right. So what you're saying is we need to try and get Dr. Verzola as a sponsor on the show.
I agree. Yes.
Hey, why not, right?
I have forked out some money over there to Dr. Verzola in the years. So yes.
So enough
So
about
is my brother, who I just saw jump on, and I'm sure he has forked out plenty of money to Verzola too. So
I'm sure a lot of folks around this area have.
if you need good flushing, that's where you go.
So enough about Jarvis's loss today.
It's a good weight loss program.
Good weight loss program.
Hey, I'll say this though. I'm pretty sure he was doing the Captain Morgan. That's all I'm going to say. Go back and rewatch the show. I'm pretty sure he's doing the Captain Morgan.
Okay.
If nobody understands that, it's which way do you wipe?
Oh, here we go.
Back, front, Captain Morgan. Anyway, so actual show topics. Now that we've got all that out of the way and some housekeeping, Jim, what we got for us tonight? You can run the show. You're the big time.
Oh, you mean he finally shows up, or we're just going to let him run the show? I mean,
hey, wait, Jason. He's the professional here. We're just the guys, that just sit around and we're the content makers.
He's the talent.
He's the talent.
He's big time.
He sets up the talent. That's what he does.
Boy, his talent. Well, I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, I was going to say there's going to be a lot of setting up tonight. That's all I'm going to say.
Man.
Right.
Well, Jarvis is wearing the shirt, and Mizzou coming off of a nice victory this past weekend. Now they get into the teeth of it. They got LSU at Faroe Field.
I want to hear your negativity.
No negative.
Shut up your negativity.
I took my negative thoughts out of the way.
The Tigers will win this weekend.
Yes, they will.
It doesn't matter. We just got to see which Tiger.
But our chat, we go around every Saturday on different things. And I'm going to flat out say, early in the season, I was not a Brady Cook believer. Brady Cook has made me believe that he is a really, really, really good quarterback, and he's doing everything they need to do to be ranked in the top 25 right now and undefeated going into this game.
You were not the only person that didn't believe, because I was at Middle Tennessee State or whatever that game was, and the crowd did not believe.
Right.
He was booed as his coach defended him afterwards, and he was booed the next game, I think, and that's when his coach defended him, I guess.
Yeah,
but
he was booed when he came out. That next game,
but he was booed during the game, the game I was at. But dude, it's been fun. It's been fun to watch. I know they haven't been like wiping the people off the field,
wiping the butt with them. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
too soon.
That was a bad usage of words by me. But
you set that one up really well
sure
for
did.
me.
I set that up. And you spiked it down, but it's been fun. I told you guys 8 wins, and I'll stand by it.
I was with you on the 8 wins.
There wasn't many with us.
No,
I'll admit it. I wasn't, but you know what? It's attainable now. It really is. When you look at the schedule and how a few of these teams are playing that are on that schedule, I think 8 wins now is doable.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be tough.
I want more now, though. I'm greedy.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're a fan. You want more, so I mean, that's what we want. But I'll tell you what, you said Cook, Luther Burden. You know what? You get the best player on the field the ball and let him go to work.
Who knew?
I know, right? It's
Who knew?
Wow, what a novel idea.
That and they've added someone to go with him in Theo Weiss, who can play as well, and give another option that Lovett was not in the past.
How do you think the guy that transferred to Georgia feels right now, dummy?
Yeah.
I'd say he's okay because he's playing for Georgia.
Yeah, but he hasn't played. I don't know. Maybe he has recently.
Okay.
Yeah. He hasn't played very well.
All right, let's do this. Mizzou LSU. Does Mizzou win that game? We got 5 wins.
You gotta say where it's at.
It's at Mizzou.
You were all like, well.
Okay, so they were talking on 101 on the afternoon about this, that if Mizzou wins, is the win tainted because LSU already has 2 losses? That would be number 3. To me, no, because at the preseason, they were talked about being one of the playoff teams and maybe having a chance at a national title.
That's because they're in the SEC.
Because they're
it's an SEC win. It's a good win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good win. The only thing that I just keep coming back to is LSU coming off of just an absolute horrible loss last week, and you can't lose a game like that. You just can't do it. And I thought Brian Kelly just got absolutely outcoached.
That happens a lot.
It does, and it happened earlier this year against Florida State.
If Mizzou can play better against the pass, they have a better chance. They have not played well against the pass defensively the last few weeks.
I was rooting for LSU to win last week just because I didn't want them to come into Columbia ticked off.
That's where I was going with that. You got them coming off of a loss, and now they're playing for their lives because one more loss, any chance of them, even with the train wreck that is, the other side of the SEC, which really nobody's reached up and grabbed who wants to win that side. Georgia has looked lethargic. Alabama is beatable any week. We've seen that already. But this is a tough one. I think, the kid that I think needs to make a statement this week is Cody Schrader. And Cody has been terrific all year long.
I like Pete.
I
like Pete.
Schrader's the bell cow. It's
Schrader leading the SEC in rushing or something like that.
Most I think like yards. Yeah, but when you get all those carries, I see on film. I watch it every week, and I think Pete has more upside. He runs harder. I think he's faster. You're giving Schrader the ball just because he's your guy that transferred over. But to me, I see.
I always hate Zach's point of view. This one sucks too. Schrader.
Here we go. Yeah. I didn't have to go along the post.
Dude, Schrader is more dependable. Schrader is the cow. He is the cow. You're right. You hit that right on the head. He is the guy that needs the ball. At the end of the game, you're not giving it to Pete. You're not giving it to him. You're giving it to Schrader.
Well, Schrader has proven to have better ball security than Pete over the last 2 years as well.
I know he had a big fumble at the Dome, which it was a costly one. They scored. I think they scored afterwards. Yeah, but Schrader, I'm all in.
But all right, what about Kentucky at Kentucky?
That's tough. The way Kentucky's playing, and I watched that game last week. Boy,
Kentucky looked really good last week. That's going to be the tough one.
I hate Kentucky.
LSU's going to be tough.
Yeah, LSU's kind of a toss-up. Kentucky, I think, goes one way or the other. South Carolina at Mizzou.
Win.
Yeah, I'd say a win right now.
I thought Spencer Rattler and company would have been playing better this year, and they just I don't know. They talked about at the beginning of in SEC media days they were only predicted at 5 wins, and okay, I guess they were right because I thought they would have been better.
So let's say they beat LSU, they lose to Kentucky, they beat South Carolina. You're going to Georgia at 7-1. That a college game day?
They ain't beating Georgia.
Is that a college game day visit there?
They should have beat them last year, but they ain't beating them this year.
Upset. Right. I'm calling it. I'm calling the upset. Screw you guys. I'm calling the upset. Georgia's played like absolute bulldog crap. I'm telling you right now.
They're just waiting, like Chris. They're just waiting for meaningful games for the SEC title.
When you start doing that, you lose.
I will say Georgia has not been blowing teams away like they
should. Get that meaningful
game. Don't have a
quarterback when Mizzou comes to town.
They've been lethargic.
Dude, is there any 25-year-old guys that need a job playing quarterback? I guess that's what.
Yeah, there is one because he, got booted out of the NFL.
Well, yeah, the Rams kind of got tired of that shtick real quick.
Yeah.
All right, Tennessee comes to Missouri.
Nope.
I say yes. Nope. I say it's a win.
Wow.
What? Yes. At Mizzou. What? At Mizzou.
I'm with Kevin. That's a win.
My gosh.
This is last year's Missouri team. Tennessee is not the team they were last year.
No,
either.
They're not.
Technically, they're ranked behind Missouri. They're ranked 22nd
right.
in the country.
M-I-Z.
Z-O-U.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Win.
Tennessee.
Florida.
Win.
Hey, Ohio State, be quiet.
Florida at Missouri.
Win.
They're struggling.
and Missouri at Arkansas to end the season.
That's
Win.
That's toss up.
That's gonna be
Win.
That's
No,
already
here's
that's a
the
win.
thing.
So
What
let's
this
say
Well, man, how many is that, Kevin? That's more than 8.
so 5-0. Are we going to say
SEC championship.
Are we going with LSU or no?
Win.
I'm going to
Stars have to align there.
5 votes.
Win. You
Who
shut
calls
your mouth. Win.
I got win.
You got win with LSU?
I got win. Chris has got win. No other win.
Okay, I'm going win now.
All right, so it's a
There we
win.
go.
Just because.
Hey, McVey said loss. Screw him.
We'll take Kentucky a loss. We'll be at 6-1. South Carolina's a win.
No, we're winning Kentucky. We're winning them all.
7-1.
Win.
Georgia's a loss. 7-2.
Winning out.
Tennessee, I got win.
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 All right, that's
Hey,
3. That's a win.
you better put
8-2.
56 up if you're going to be Tennessee, and they
We are
can't do that.
We are
You
sitting.
don't think I think they can put 56 up.
We're sitting at 10-2.
SEC championship, baby.
Yeah, against Georgia, where we'll finish 10-3.
3.
Hey, I'll
Hey,
take it. Hey, this is now. Listen, this is the first time
might
they
go-
went 5-0
Hey,
since 2013, and when they went to the SEC title.
Hey, I might go with Chris and go with the upset on Georgia, and we'll be 11-1 and then 11-2 after losing to them. In the
Oh
final
my
game.
gosh! I know
Hey,
Missouri's
Here's going to be the only caveat I've got to that Arkansas game. If Arkansas loses a few more, which I think they're going to,
Yes.
Sam Pittman is coaching for his job in that game. If Arkansas loses to Mizzou, they may fire Sam Pittman at the 50-yard line and not let him into the locker room.
What if they do it on the
game.
tarmac like they did
Yeah,
Lane
well,
Kiffin?
Well,
They-
hey, Herm got canned in the end zone.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, by the way. Hey, that's ballsy right there.
Yeah.
Ballsy.
Hey, I know Missouri is a recreational state, but you guys are crazy.
What? What
Now
are you trying to say?
Here's where I'm going to go.
Crazy.
And I was the
I'll
big
take
fan
it
from the
right
beginning.
now, sir.
I was
Where's
the
your
big fan
cup?
from the beginning and said 5 wins. The way they have played, they've won 2 games that I didn't think they would win.
Who?
K-State, and I really thought they would. I really thought, because I like Vandy. I think they've started to turn the corner. They really have. They started to turn the
What
corner a
corner
little
have
bit.
they turned?
This one right here.
That's like
They're not as
turn
bad as
down
they've
for
been.
what?
Make it a left turn.
They're
corner
not
to the
as
bottom
bad
of-
as they've been.
No, they're still the bottom of the SEC.
Right. Well, yeah, but they're not as bad in the bottom.
If there was
of the
relegation in college football, Vandy is in the Sun Belt.
No, Vandy's in Division 2.
Oh man, I don't know about
Ooh,
that.
wow.
Have you seen that stadium? That's
Ohio
Division 2.
Valley. Ohio Valley Conference.
I give them 8 wins.
At least they won't be in the tax slayer who gives a rat's ass bowl at the end of the year. Right
the
now,
Utah
they are
Cotton
not going to
Bowl.
be in that. At least they're in something that maybe matters.
Hey, I'm Chris. Not to bring you down here, but
I was gonna say
this is Mizzou, and I've been a Mizzou fan, and we've been heartbroken many a times.
Yes.
I mean, 5th down.
Okay, wait. I didn't say we were winning a national
kickball.
championship over here. I said they will not be playing in the tax slayer. Nobody gives a rat's
we
ass bowl.
screwed that national championship chance up that year. So I mean,
Yeah, stupid Oklahoma. Okay,
Ugh.
yeah, we're here. I hate Oklahoma.
man, that's just like made me kind of ill thinking about.
And the
Hey, you threw up
colonoscopy
in your
prep
mouth
did
a little
not.
bit.
Interesting.
So,
By the way,
let me
go ahead.
Here we go.
let me get your guys' thoughts on this. So Caleb Williams, I sent this meme out to you guys. Caleb Williams, since we're on college football, talked about how, hey, I'm making more money now than I'm going to in a rookie deal. If I don't like who's got the number 1 pick, I can come back. What do you think about that? I mean, it's
Hello,
probably,
Chicago Bears. I'm not going there.
man.
Man, Chicago's bad.
He's going to pull a Ryan Leaf or a Peyton Manning. Except back in that time, you couldn't do it. Now, yeah, if he gets drafted, he's going to say, no, I'm not going to go there. I know. I think it's stupid.
Eli Manning.
Or Eli, I'm sorry. It was when I knew it was one of the Mannings. But
You think it's stupid, but if you were him,
without a doubt.
I'm making more money staying in colleve. I'll stay.
dude,
It's
I'm
all
living,
make money. Make
I'm
money.
living the college life and making money.
making
What's
money.
Well-
even the choice here?
Well,
I mean,
part-
really?
Part of this is also leading to the fact that there's been discussion that in the NFL, like in the NBA, they're going to go to the lottery for the draft.
Interesting.
In that sense. So, because I've always thought that in this type of situation, if you really wanted to prevent tanking, like some people tank for Caleb, tank for whatever, don't give the worst team the first pick. You flip it and give the team that just missed the playoffs the first pick.
That'd be great, for some of those Major League Baseball teams that, try a little bit and then don't.
I mean, they don't try enough. They always
you look at the
promise.
NBA.
They always say,
yeah. Yeah, you guys look at the NBA and the tanking that goes on. Why do you think the NBA has basically put rules into effect to where you can't give your star players days off just to give them days off?
Oh, they find ways around it.
They still do that.
Oh,
not anymore.
He's got a
ankle.
He's got a pulled eyelid. He needs to sit out for a week.
He's got a hemorrhoid. I mean,
invert your eyelid. Start breathing out your eyelids. That'll help. If I'm a college athlete and I have the opportunity to make money because I'm that good, you're damn right. I want the NIL deal before I'm gonna want to go and play on some crappy team. I mean, think about it. How many good players have gotten lost in some really terrible organizations? Hey, Joe Thomas. How about that for a number one pick? Yeah. He should be a Hall of Famer, but he played for the freaking Browns. He had more quarterbacks.
Hall of Famer this year, buddy.
He was a Hall of Famer this year.
Okay, my bad. But still, I mean, he should. Wait. Okay.
Worst example ever.
Good research.
No.
Good research.
I forgot.
Doggone interns. They're supposed to be doing all this research, and they did nothing for Miller this week.
I respect you guys. Shut up.
Howard is the only one big time enough to have his own interns.
My point is okay. Joe Thomas, I thought he was up for Hall of Fame for going to be for next year. My bad. My point is he would have had even a better career had he been with a better organization than the stupid Browns. I mean, everybody knew Joe Thomas was that good, but other players who've been really good getting lost in playing for some really bad teams might not even had a chance to show how good they are.
Or you get hurt.
You
get hurt.
There's plenty of quarterbacks that you wonder what they would have been like in a better situation over the years. There's always been you wonder
Ryan Leaf,
someone like Tim Couch have actually been a decent quarterback in a different situation.
No, because he played at Kentucky.
So
he played Kentucky. He was a one-read guy. Achilles Smith would have been better than him if he'd have kept going. Come on. And Ray Lewis ended Achilles. No, it was Peter Bulware ended Achilles Smith.
Yeah.
So Jarvis's brother hit it on the head. Geno Smith. There's a great example.
Geno's turned it around.
Yeah, because he got into a situation that was good for a quarterback to be in.
So that brings up something that I heard even this morning. So when we're talking about Russell Wilson, we'll jump to that just real quick. Russell Wilson with the Seahawks, good career. Everybody's like, future Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson starts having a hard time playing for Pete Carroll, decides he wants to go. They trade him. They pull Geno Smith off the scrap heap. Geno Smith's a Pro Bowler now in the twilight of his career playing for Pete Carroll. So the question is was it Russell Wilson or was it Pete Carroll? Go.
Russell Wilson.
Money changes people.
Russell Wilson.
Money changes people.
Yeah.
Well, but you look at what Russell Wilson did when he went to Denver, wanting to bring his whole entourage in. And Sean Payton basically said, no, we're not doing it this way. We're doing it my way. And Peyton laid the law down right out of the gate, and I know that did not make Russell Wilson happy. And I think that's why Russell Wilson's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league right now, because he's being a little whiny baby, and because he can't have his people around him.
Shots fired by Jim Powers. You heard that one here.
Seattle is in the last few years has been far superior in roster construction over what Denver is. Sean Payton, if given the opportunity, I think can return Denver to it. It's going to take a while to fix that dumpster fire of a roster that the Broncos have at the moment. Mm-hmm. They have zero talent there. Russell Wilson could be that guy. There's zero talent around him.
Anyway, I just wanted to throw that one out there. I know we went a little off base after the Mizzou conversation.
I got some off base. It's not on there. I want to talk.
We're not talking about your poop, okay?
No, it has nothing to do with my poop. Did you see Aaron Rodgers' comment about Travis Kelce being Mr. Pfizer.
I don't get that. Explain it to me.
Yes, please explain, Jarvis.
I figured Miller would be all over this because
I'm not saying anything.
He was promoting to get the vaccination. He does a commercial in his arm, and it shows where he got his thing.
Okay.
And Aaron Rodgers, dude, I'm telling you, after I watched Hard Knocks, I
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers was an absolute flake, and dude, he's hilarious, man. And I watched his thing there was a thing on TikTok with him, because I got a lot of time today to do that in recovery.
Thought you were sleeping.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
some sleeping in between
Nice.
naps. And oh my God, it was so hilarious. He called him Mr. Pfizer.
Well, I mean, between Hard Knocks and then you look at that quarterback series on Netflix with Kirk Cousins. I was not a Kirk Cousins fan until I watched that series. Oh my gosh! Yeah,
dude, he's
they're talking about Kirk Cousins. They're not going to re-sign him. They don't want to pay him. They're not going to give him the extension.
They're going to trade
who
him
the hell
before
do
the
they
middle
think
of
they're
the
going
year.
to get? I don't think they will. But why would you not? Okay, and I agree with you. You should, but why? And if they keep him, I don't understand that. If you're not going to re-sign him, why in the heck would you keep him? You're 1-3
him in Minnesota. If they're being competitive,
Fran
and close to the
Tarkenton.
playoffs, if they're being competitive and they're close to the playoffs, they're not trading him because they have nothing, but they don't have anything worth it behind him.
Yeah, but the thing
Right,
they said was he that way he doesn't get hurt. They can they have an asset to trade, or excuse me, I don't know. I don't understand why you wouldn't re-sign the guy. He's playing well despite them sucking right now. But what in this league, when quarterback play is at a premium, why would you not? This guy has proven that he can win. He wants to be there, and he's not a locker room
300 yards almost every week.
He's not a distraction. He's not a problem. He's not bringing a damn entourage. He just dresses really bad and dances funny. Okay.
He lacks confidence.
Well, okay. Is it the idea of? Is it the idea of it's too much money and you have a one here? Like you have a one. So why do we want to give you?
Is that
more
his
money?
fault?
I mean, he's a quarterback, so part of it mostly.
We've had this discussion on here. Name all of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and then where does Kirk Cousins fit in that list?
Probably tier 2.
He's tier 1B.
Here's where they trade him and why they trade him, because if they don't sign him, do they get anything from anybody? No, he'll go someplace else. But if they trade him, they'll at least, number one, get maybe a player or two. Number two, they're going to get draft picks. That would be the reason to trade him at midseason. If they know they got no shot to re-sign him, which I agree with you, Kevin and Zach, they should re-sign him.
Not me.
I didn't say you.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't agree with me. Anyway, but Kirk Cousins, again, okay, you're going to trade Cousins. You're going to get a second and a third, or a second and a fourth and a fifth and a conditional or something. What are you going to use that to match the production for him? Right now, Joe Burrows is the worst quarterback in the NFL by statistics, and he's the highest paid one. Who are you going to get who is going to go out there and produce at a tier 2, 1B level other than Kirk Cousins in free agency in the offseason? I'll wait.
Maybe you draft somebody because there's a boatload. There's a boatload. Pick a QB out of the Pac-12 right now.
This is a great draft for a quarterback. You're still 3 years away if you can get one of those guys. The top 3 quarterbacks is obviously Williams, the kid from North Carolina, and
the kid from Duke if he's healthy.
I think Washington. I think Penix.
The Washington kid. That's the one I was thinking of.
And you know what? I'm going to throw the Notre Dame quarterback in because even though Ohio State beat them, I really like that.
When is the last time a Notre Dame quarterback has ever been any good in the NFL?
Montana.
That's it. 1977. 4th round draft pick.
But okay, I'll say this though. I'll say this though. That goes back to your whole Browns thing because Brady Quinn was a heck of a QB. And had he gone someplace else, I think he'd have had a better career.
Well, there you go.
He went to the Browns.
and then to the
Browns
and
and
then to the
Cincinnati
Panthers.
are scary.
Oh,
And then Jarvis took the Browns to the Super Bowl. So
Today,
Today.
yesterday,
a lot.
yesterday.
Oh,
Hey,
Oh.
by the way, there you go. This
Hey, who is
from,
that
Coach
guy
Moreno
watching?
had to chime
Coach
in here.
Moreno. Hey,
give a shout out.
If he's still watching, when are you going to come on the show? We got to have
February.
him on the show.
Hold on. Eddie cannot join the show because he doesn't meet the height requirement of being on the
Bang,
Moreno says he's still here. He's still here.
Oh, man. They were talking like you
As I
weren't
now
here.
wait for my phone
Man.
to blow up to Marino texting me.
Okay.
Pretty
All right,
much.
so I looked it up. The two backup quarterbacks from the Vikings,
Change subject.
Nick Mullins,
Who?
Oh,
Nick Mullen.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
and Jaron Hall.
Who?
Exactly.
Where? What?
That is QB2 and QB3.
Man, he gets hurt. They are in a world of hurt. I mean, what in the world?
Again, why?
They're
Who you gonna go
they're direct snapping it to Jefferson. That's all they're doing.
Hey,
They're running the segment off.
do they get Justin Fields? Do they get him? I'm not going to give up on him. He's proven he had a great second half last year. He's just on a bad team in a bad situation.
Like Denver, have zero talent around him in that
Okay,
roster.
but again, why would you trade Kirk Cousins and then get Justin Fields?
Because he's cheaper.
Because he's cheap.
Yeah,
He's on
I
the
don't-
rookie deal.
Okay, but you're saying you think he can be good. Cousins is producing. I want what I know in my hand in a league where coaches get fired if we're not winning in 2 years.
Because if I get this guy for a rookie deal, and then I get all this extra cash that I can revamp my roster.
Hold on.
Then don't be the head coach when you get the rookie guy with the rookie deal. Wait 2 years after that guy gets canned and then take the job.
Well, here's what Miller, I agree with you. They shouldn't trade him. They should re-sign him. But if they do get rid of him, they are going to need a replacement for him. Fields might be the guy that in a good situation to do that.
Just play Chris Mullins. He surely is pretty
Chris
good.
Mullins, the 3-point shooter.
Does Bailey Zappi still look for a job somewhere?
You said Chris Mullins, didn't you?
I did actually, yes.
Nick Mullins. I know.
Oh,
Nick
okay.
Mullins.
Anyway, it's time for a commercial break.
Distant cousin.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's time for a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about
Blues.
hockey.
Let's go Blues. Zach,
We're going to talk about the Blues.
you want to take a break while we do this?
Yeah, I'm going to take a nap like Jarvis did today.
Shut up. You're going to be on TikTok. All right.
Oh,
you're
boy.
watching Coach's Box. We will return shortly. We'll be right back.
Play-by-play announcer who's in your ear all game long. And the more praise I heap on your team, the more excited you get. Touchdown! Now, you don't hear the upstairs toilet overflowing, and I don't mean with confidence. You wanted a bowl season? You got a bowl season. And if I could show up on game day, imagine what could happen the rest of the week. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
guys, it's Jeff from Case and Bucks, personally inviting you and your family to come check us out. We've taken over ownership back in September. We've made some great positive changes, got the same legacy wings, got some amazing pizzas, some awesome burgers, hamburgers provided by Kenrick's. We'd love to have you down. Come check us out. The beer's cold, the air conditioning's working, and we're looking forward to seeing you all. Take care.
For 24 years, really enjoyed being a basketball coach. When I retired from coaching, I decided that I wanted to get back into the media world. I look at it from more of a coach's point of view. I love to showcase guests. I love to tell their stories, not just locally and regionally, but nationally as well. Joe Namath, Kurt Warner, Patrick Ewing, Katie Smith. Not just talk about their accolades, but what they have given back to the game, what they've given back as leaders in their community. And I want people to be able to listen to my show and to be able to take that into their lives. They're going to be able to live their life like a champion. That's a show right there that I feel like is worth listening to.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the second segment of the Coach's Box. I wanted to go ahead and reiterate the announcement we had at the very beginning of the show, just so everybody is aware. As of Monday, Riley Blair is no longer affiliated in any part with the Coach's Box Call It Like We See It podcast, nor is he a member of Off the Rails Media or any of its broadcasts. So with that being said, we are jumping right back into our second segment of the Coach's Box. Welcome back from the break, fellas. I hope you guys all had a good break. Jarvis, are you doing okay still? We just wanted to double check on you.
Yeah, man. I was
He just threw down another hamburger.
I was
What are you
dancing
talking
to the
about?
Coach's Box theme and everything. I'm good.
Hey, I didn't know, Chris, that you got a commercial in between segments that was at Jarvis's house. Like that Allstate commercial, that mayhem in that bathroom. I just didn't know. Maybe.
Well, if you were at my house last night, maybe a little mayhem.
That's fair.
We love you, Jarvis. We're giving you trouble.
Well, it's okay.
I'm being sensitive. Who are you right now?
I'm not sensitive. It's all.
Yeah, you are.
Well, maybe I was a little bit, but
you're not. You're not sitting very still. Are you okay?
There's some salve for that.
They make medicated wipes for that type of thing.
Make dude wipes. Those are the best. Dude wipes.
Not a sponsor. Yeah.
Not a sponsor. Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah.
Enough talk about all these wipes.
That's fair. That is fair.
All right. Well, let's talk about wiping the ice.
Oh, looky there. With what? A Zamboni? A
A
Zamboni?
Zamboni, baby.
That's
St. Louis
right.
Blues, open up. Next week.
Zach, are you in or out on this? Do you want to just...
I'll listen. I'll try and learn something.
Oh, boy.
I'll
From
try and learn
us?
something.
Act like we've been in education.
Right.
All right. So here's the first question. Off-season moves that the Blues made. Do we think that it's going to be better and the Blues will be a better product on the ice this year, or do we think that they didn't do enough to get them back to the upper echelon of the NHL?
I still think they needed to move one of those defensemen. And they tried to, and he rejected the trade, but either Krug or Falk, one of them needed to go. or Parayko. One of the three needed to go.
I can agree with that. Just getting a little bit younger on that defensive side of things. You know,
I want to see him. I want to see him get younger and get a little nastier on the defensive end.
True.
I just don't think they've done that.
No, I think the biggest question mark is exactly what the defense is going to do. I like the lines right now. I think in the pairings. I think the pairings that they were talking about it, how they ran them out in practice and how they practice. I think that the pairings are good. I really want to see how Parayko and Letty play well together, but then I also want to see kind of the Falk and Krug that mix to see what they actually do defensively and see if they bounce back, because I didn't think they were very good last year.
I want to see Krug get back to the Krug that played in Boston.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a little nasty streak to him there in Boston, and we have not seen it yet here in St. Louis. I want to see that Krug that went flying down the ice to lay into who was that Blues player in the Stanley Cup?
Was it Thomas or somebody?
Thomas,
Robert Thomas. I want to see
who knew that?
He lost his bonnet and did it. Yes, sir.
Wow, what did
Yet somehow that was legal. Somehow spearing in hockey's legal, but yet little bumps on the side, or you
can't be looking at the glass and you hit somebody. That is illegal. You have to be playing the puck turned.
Hey, it was an open ice. Thomas has got to keep his head up.
Keep your head on the swivel.
So you got to keep your head on the swivel.
What do you guys think about
I think in order for them to be better, they have to be better in front of Bennington. Bennington had to save way too many shots last year.
Yes.
And I think Cairo and Thomas have to be better. I know they were good. I mean, Cairo was good. I just think both of those guys have to step up even more. We're paying them the money. Now, show us that we, didn't make a mistake on paying you all this money.
Yeah. I also think Bennington can't play 60-plus games next year.
No. He's play like 50 or 40 or something. They need to,
And I think Hofer behind him will do a better job as goalie too. So I think that helps, but he can't play as much as he did last year.
I want to see this team play like Craig Berube played when he was on the ice.
Well, that's a lot of fighting.
Edge with that.
Wow.
You know what? So be it. This team showed no life whatsoever in the back end of that season last year.
They were 30th. They were 30th in penalty kill.
Yeah,
I mean, that's god awful. You can't win games if you're 30th in penalty kill.
But you can be more physical. You can create more physicality without penalties. And I just don't. We're too much of a finesse team.
Well, they're not going to play that way with this set of defensemen that we have.
Well,
I agree. That's why I wish they would have made some guys. Get physical. I mean,
it shows last year we weren't physical. We couldn't score on the power play,
right?
And we couldn't defend the penalty kill. There, if you can't do those two things, you're not playing physical.
Is that because of the makeup of the player? Like, I mean, defensemen are supposed to be 6'6", 250.
They don't have to be big. They just have to be nasty.
That's right.
These guys are just finesse players. They're quarterbacks or wannabe quarterbacks of the PowerPoint. And we've got four of them. And because Perunovich is the same way in that pairings. And he's just, there's not enough clear some asses from in front of the net guys on the defensive end.
So
you
why
had to use that term, didn't you? Clear. And then
I did.
Say that.
Right. And I go back, and if you guys remember the movie Draft Day, when Dennis Leary says to Kevin Costner, "I've got a locker room full of Tarzans. I need a Jane." Well, guess what? We've got a locker room full of Janes and not a Tarzan. We need a couple Tarzan type guys.
We have a couple of Tarzan guys. They just play out on the wings and not in front of the net defensively, where we need our defensemen to play.
Yep.
We've got some Sundqvists and we've got some Schenns and we've got some guys like that can do that, but they can't do it up at the blue line and in front of the net. They're not built defensively to do that.
What do you think about Kevin Hayes as far as his acquisition, bringing him in? I like him.
I think he fits well in what they're going to do being able to get back to running 4 lines that can do some things and not rely on 1 or 2 lines.
Yeah.
Running 4 lines is going to be key for this team, and because they're going to have to keep up with not having very good defensemen in front of us, in front of our goalkeeper.
What do you guys think?
We're going to win a lot of 6-5 games, I think, this year.
I'll take the winning the 6-5 games and losing them for damn
We're probably
sure.
going to lose some 5-1 games this year too.
Yeah, that's probably.
What do you guys think about the captaincy? I mean, obviously, that was
a no-brainer. Why did it take so long?
It was a no-brainer, and I think Thomas is probably the next guy up that he's learning from Schenn. But I didn't think there was anybody else on the roster that was worthy of that position.
No, not no nuts Pareko. Come on, man. I mean, gee whiz, if you got a guy who talk about looked like Tarzan,
play like Jane.
I don't want to say too much because he is bigger, but he is kind of like a teddy bear.
His only attribute that made him a good captain is he's a guy that was in the community doing the things that captains do in a community, but he didn't do enough on the ice to warrant it.
Well, I'm telling you,
still do those things give him the A. He can still do all those things.
I think. I mean, Schenn's the guy, man. I mean, since he came here, he arguably could have been the captain from the day that he walked in. I know everybody, Ryan O'Reilly, but man, I'll tell you what, I can't stress it enough. Schenn will play hurt. He will fight anybody. He doesn't care. He can play the game. He's on the 3rd line right now, and he's your captain.
Didn't Schenn
is that a tenure thing?
No.
What?
I don't know. Like the captain. Like I don't. Obviously, I don't know.
It's not necessarily tenured. It's usually a vote by some teammates and
Wayne Gretzky came here in the middle of the year, and he was the captain.
Yeah,
it's a guy who can lead. Sidney Crosby was named a captain at like 21 in Pittsburgh.
Oh, his second year, I think.
Second year, I think.
Captain. Yeah.
But, no, it was a no-brainer in that situation.
And I love the way he plays, man. I mean, gee whiz,
didn't he have like a bunch of broken ribs to finish the year last year? And he played like 3 or 4 weeks with broken ribs.
I think he played a whole year. They said it might have been even a couple years ago where he just going to be out there and he wants to play. He wants to play. He wants to play for his teammates. He wants to win. Those are the guys that you want. And I think the locker room under him being captain is going to look a lot different than it has in the last few years. And I don't think there's anybody on that team that's not going to fall in line, because he is the kind of guy who will just, okay, let's go. And they need somebody like that who will call you to the carpet, who will get in your face, but at the same time, guys want to play with Brayden Schenn.
Yeah.
So they didn't have that last year. And
no,
because I mean, at the end of the day, you're okay. Hey, I'm making $2, $3, $4 million or whatever hockey players make. Like, okay, whatever, dude. You got the C on your chest. Congratulations.
I think
I'm a millionaire.
I think Ryan O'Reilly was a different kind of leader. I don't think he was a get in the face kind of leader in the locker room. He was probably take a guy to the side, arm around him type of motivator. But I think Schenn is a jump somebody's ass in the locker room kind of guy.
So always got to come down to that today. I see.
Should have named
this
the
is
title of the
segment
show.
number 2. So.
Who does number 2 work for? Not Jarvis.
not today. Not today.
Not today, Satan.
So where do we think they finish?
So glad I came back.
They might luck out into a wild card spot, but
I think
they're on the cusp of.
I think they're a wild card team at best, because defensively, I don't think they're good enough to be better than that.
If they would gel throughout the year, and they're the kind of team that if they do get hot, I think they have the depth, for all 4 lines that can contribute. It is going to be on the defense. It is going to be the forechecking that's going to make the difference for this team. If they can stay healthy, I like Jacob Verana, I really do. And I mean, just watching little clips of him, and then when he came over last year, at the trade deadline. I mean, hey, here's what I will tell you about the Blues. They have the best general manager in St. Louis. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Really?
Because
Because it's
Doug,
difficult?
Kevin,
okay.
me and you can disagree with them. Go.
We're going
we'll
to
let him
Jim
talk,
and I are
but
going to
me-
disagree.
Okay, piss on
Yes.
Nobody
the
cares
other.
about that.
No.
We're not talking about that sport.
You can't say that until
Wear the
you
hat.
get
They're
hey,
stiff.
1
Nobody
year,
cares.
great, fine. They did great in
Like,
1
I don't
year.
even know when they're having games. They don't
Tonight.
even
Tonight,
publicize
9:30
it.
against
Nah.
Vancouver.
Well, where's
on
that
Apple TV. There you
publicized
go.
at?
It's
I haven't
free on
seen
Apple
nothing.
TV.
Yeah, they don't. No one
Hey,
publicizes that crap.
so
That's why
Doug
we'll be done at 9:29.
Doug Armstrong has brought a Stanley Cup to St. Louis. Okay, he goes out. He flipped the roster around. He went out and he tried to make big free agent acquisitions. He signed guys. He's traded for guys, and it fell apart. Okay, that team did not work. What did he do whenever it didn't work? He tore it down. He traded those guys. He traded his pieces, and he started building again. He got 3 number 1 draft picks out of all those trades last year, plus some other guys. He's found some quality guys that weren't expensive, and he's brought them in, and he's put them on this team. Doug Armstrong will admit that he's wrong, and he's going to try to fix it. Not, well, you guys just need to be patient, okay? It's just be patient. The fans just need to be patient.
Oh, don't give me
Hang on, let me fix my bow tie.
Don't start.
That's
We're going to talk about them next. We don't
listen.
need to talk about that.
I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, you want a general manager going to say, I messed up. Let me try to fix it because the fans deserve it. We're not going to tank. We're not going to be the freaking Blackhawks and somehow rig the NHL to get Connor Bedard. No. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go out and we're going to get guys. We're going to draft well. We're going to bring guys in. And that's what they did. That's why I like what Doug Armstrong has done with this team. He turned the roster over completely, and now look at they look like a different team. Now he tried with the defense, and that obviously again the worst thing in hockey is no trade clauses. Because almost all the decent players get them. It's just the way it is now.
They almost have to give it to anybody that can skate backwards just to get them to come to your team. But
yeah.
The one thing the Blues could do best case scenario more than any other team is offensively, they have the depth and the potential to be able to score a lot of goals defensively.
Yes.
With this crew. If they can get a lot of scoring defensively from the blue line, I think they're going to be in much better shape than what anybody's given them credit for. A lot to maybe overcome their defensive issues. But that remains to be seen whether they're going to be able to do that or not.
I agree.
Well, that was a lot of debate.
But still, me and Kevin think there's one GM that maybe just
I don't care.
It's Lutz Pfannenstiel.
Yes, it's Lutz.
Who the heck's that?
Is that the Battlehawks? Is that the
Wow.
Battlehawks?
No, that's the
Nice.
That's the Rock.
Yeah, the Rock is
St. Louis Ambush.
The Battlehawks.
The Ambush.
Is that still a thing? What's the
No.
indoor? Is that the indoor
That's the
soccer?
ambush.
I would watch indoor soccer before I'll watch
When-
other soccer.
When you're in elementary school and you got
I don't
straight
watch
A's and you got to
soccer.
go up to the indoor, yeah.
Never did
That
get to do
actually is,
that.
that actually is hockey on grass.
Yes, it is.
Here we go.
But
Meanwhile,
Yeah. We're,
So
why don't we?
I was gonna say, like, we were still on hockey. I mean, nobody else really said. I mean, a couple of us did where we think the Blues are going to finish.
I think wild card. I'll go wild card. I think they're wild card. I don't think they can make it past the first round. I think there's some teams that got really strong, especially in the West this year. And I still think the Stanley Cup is going to go through Vegas. Vegas has just got an unbelievable team once again, and they're going to be tough to beat. And it's tough to win over at their place. It's tough to win in their home building. And I think they're loaded. I think the East is up for grabs.
I think it's still Tampa in the East.
Hang on, before Zach asks this question, so hold it, Zach. Jason,
hold it.
Well, I don't know.
I was saying,
hang like Jarvis, or
no.
gotta.
Jarvis, you're not saying anything about your prediction. I ain't gonna ask Zach because he doesn't know a damn thing about hockey.
Well, I'm actually sharing our show to a bunch of groups, but hey, got to getting us out there. I think the Blues are going to be wild card.
That's more than one thing you had to get out this week.
Golly, man.
Should we go to a break for our last segment there, Miller?
I want to hear Zach's question.
So you guys brought up the whole Bennington can't play a lot of games. So explain to me the difference from game management in the NBA and the Stars not playing versus your Stanley Cup champion goalie not being able to play. Like, obviously, I don't know. So explain to me and maybe the two viewers that are watching that doesn't understand hockey.
Man.
Like, why can't you have
you are negative Nelly.
No, I'm saying there might be two people that out of the 200 that don't understand hockey.
McVey's body tonight being negative?
Well,
I can't.
I mean,
Zach,
Zach always they can't play. I mean,
I don't know why can't they?
Well, sometimes you play back-to-back nights, or you have several. You have 5 games in a week or 6 games. I mean,
but they stand
skating
up and down the court.
Skating is taxing, and
they don't skate. They stand.
I'm trying to answer. If you let me answer, for crying out loud.
You sound like Mandy.
Hey, listen, he's got 200 wins. You shut your mouth, Zach.
Yes.
Agreed.
He is a 200 winning coach.
This argument's about to be 201. Now listen.
There's no argument.
Oh, man.
Good question.
So skating in itself, whether you know this or not, because I don't know if you've ever been actually ice skating, Steinberg circles doesn't count as taxing ice skating here. But add a bunch of gear to you and then have to just drop to your knees, stand back up, drop to your knees, stand back up, fall to your side, get hit while you're trying to keep the puck out of the net.
He's already out. I mean, Zach's already out.
You didn't even say do the splits.
Do the splits.
Yeah,
you didn't even say do the splits. No.
I would love to see that.
Yes. And then
banana splits about it.
Have puck shot at you.
Yeah, you've done a few of those, I think. Yeah.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Jarvis throwing shots after he's lost 15 pounds in the last 24 hours.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
gotta keep making fun of my number twos in the second segment here.
You guys rip on me 13 or 14 more times. I'm out of here.
Oh, I'm gonna take my ball and go
home.
But no, the goalies can't play that much because you're putting a lot of undue stress on them, and they're right. You play a lot of back-to-backs because of the travel situation. There aren't a lot of guys that are they're not suiting up. I mean, it's an 82-game season.
Here's another thing. Try having about 35 to 40 times a night, having something that is hard, frozen.
Be careful. Be careful.
Flying at you at 100 miles per hour.
Man, crazy.
You have pads on.
Okay.
It's a pod.
Listen, we're going to settle this really simply. Everybody remember that time that Miller got in the cage against that professional baseball player?
Exactly. Right. Yes.
We're going to take that same cage, except we're going to find some professional hockey player somewhere. We're going to put Zach in pads.
Yes.
And just shoot hocky pucks at him.
You know, Zach.
Like the Goldberg drill. We're going to tie him to a goal.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Shoot
Zach.
Not everyone's Jordan that can be 40 and play 82 games. I mean, it's just not everybody.
You guys are attacking me. I don't know. I'm asking a legitimate question.
But every time we come up with an answer, you come up with something back like, oh, but he's got pads on. And it's just skating.
It's almost like
he doesn't even have to skate. He can sit crisscross applesauce while the puck's on the other end of the ice.
No, he cannot. Oh my!
Why can't he?
Because
is that a rule? Is that a dumb rule like offsides?
Can we just settle this right now? Coach is now 201 wins. He just earned it tonight.
There's no argument. It was a question.
Doesn't matter. I won.
Your questions are arguments.
You just want to disagree with me all just because.
No, it's because you're ludicrous.
Miller, click that off. That's going to be one of the promos. Questions or arguments, Jarvis.
Yes.
Put that off.
That's Jarvis's solo show. Questions are arguments.
I am not going solo. No.
Welcome to the show where I ask the questions and then turn them into arguments myself.
That would definitely be a great
Jarvis arguing with all of his alter egos.
I think I would actually subscribe to a podcast with just McVey and Jarvis
my gosh.
having the most insane and loud arguments with each other.
It was supposed to be you.
I want to see you.
Why did me and Miller have to argue? I usually agree with you.
Because you're Barkley and Shaq. That's why.
Oh, well, now we're Barkley and Shaq. I'm Shaq.
People
Damn right.
I am Shaq. I can sound more like Shaq than you.
Just a knucklehead.
Oh boy, this just went off the rails. That's where it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's off the rails.
Hey, Zach, I'd like to thank you for my 201st win.
Whatever I can do.
Hey, and on that note, we are taking a break. You're watching the Coach's Box, maybe. We'll be right back at some point.
I'm a bunch of wind. And just like your stomach after that strip mall sushi, well, I'm a bit unpredictable. Let's redecorate. What's the matter, Tanya? I thought you loved being spontaneous. I do. And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, I might break the bank too. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
Hey guys, it's Jeff from Case and Bucks, personally inviting you and your family to come check us out. We've taken over ownership back in September. We've made some great positive changes, got the same legacy wings, got some amazing pizzas, some awesome burgers, hamburgers provided by Kenrick's. We'd love to have you down. Come check us out. The beer's cold, the air conditioning's working, and we're looking forward to seeing y'all. Take care.
24 years, really enjoyed being a basketball coach. When I retired from coaching, I decided that I wanted to get back into the media world, and I started doing play-by-play, I started doing color analyst work, I started guest hosting on some shows. However, my brain seemed to be a little bit different. I look at it from more of a coach's point of view. I love to showcase guests. I love to tell their story. To be able to share that with the listeners and see what they can take from it. I've been fortunate enough to showcase people not just locally and regionally, but nationally as well. Joe Namath, Kurt Warner, Patrick Ewing, Katie Smith, Valerie Contos-Field, Katie Sowers. Not just talk about their accolades, not just have a lot of statistics and what they accomplished, but what they have given back to the game and what they've given back as leaders in their community. And I want people to be able to listen to my show and at the end of it, when they listen to the post-game talk, to be able to reflect on what our discussion was and to be able to take that into their lives. They're going to be able to still live their life like a champion. That's a show right there that I feel like is worth listening to.
Oh, that was all of a sudden. Hey, welcome back to the Coach's Box, everybody. This is segment number 3. I know, right? Just
I think that's what Jarvis said.
Oh, wow. Don't forget, you can watch any of these episodes, all of our old episodes. If you really want to go back and watch any of those, you can see those all on YouTube and Facebook. You can watch them for free. No paywall, no subscriptions, nothing like that. Don't forget, also, you can catch Jim Powers' show. What is it, Jim? What's it called? Go ahead.
On the move with the Caravan, baby.
There he is. That's right.
It'll be out tomorrow afternoon. We've had a lot of fun talking about some great football this year. And, it's hard to believe we're in the home stretch. But, yeah, we've got some great games to talk about this week. And you can watch it every Thursday afternoon.
And you know what? It doesn't cost you anything.
It's great value.
It's great freaking value.
Oh,
that's right.
Be quiet.
Hey, Jarvis moved to the couch, ladies and gentlemen.
I was tired.
Rico Suave over there.
He is. Hey, if you'd like to host the podcast with me,
I'm looking for hosts to hang out.
I think he needed to move to the couch because he needed something a little bit softer to sit on right now.
Just put a towel down.
So funny.
Just put a towel down underneath.
I'm not a dog. We don't just put a towel down.
Just saying. All right, so let's get into our final topic. It is something that Jim hinted on a little bit that we need to discuss just a little bit because it is the end of an era here in St. Louis. And to be honest with you, I have no shame when I say this. When I saw Wainwright going and getting an opportunity to have an at-bat in that final series, I teared up because that's a guy that I've watched for his entire career as a St. Louis Cardinal, and that it's over. Mm-hmm. And it is a little sad for me because he's one of my favorite players.
He showed it throughout his career. He showed what kind of guy he is. I know he took a beating, especially at the end of the year, because he just didn't have it, and he was getting no support behind him either. But for him to get 200, for him to be able to bat the last couple games of the year, to go out the way he did, and he is a Hall of Famer. I will tell you that right now. I think Adam Wainwright is going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to wear the red jacket. He's going to be in the Cardinals Hall of Fame. And it won't surprise me if that happens within the next 2 years. I know they have some sort of rule that they've got to wait either 3 or 4 years. I think they're going to expedite that because of everything that he did. And I bet you any money, it's going to be him, Kohlholz, and Yachty that all go in at the same time.
It should be.
That would be really cool.
Well,
it's really kind of sad when you add all 3 of them together there, and Waino was the last of those 3 to hang it up, and some special moments we've gotten to watch with him.
Man, you talk about end of a generation. I mean, that's our generation.
Yes.
I mean, Jim, you talked about him not having a good last season. It's no different than Bob Gibson. His last season was awful too. But it's great that he could get to the milestone that he wanted to, and obviously it would have probably been nice for the Cardinals to reach the postseason. But I think if we're looking at it, and I think after a 19, 20-year career, you can be just a little bit selfish and say, hey, I got the accolades that I wanted, or I got the stats that I wanted to, and I can at least ride off into the sunset that way.
No, him getting 2 wins was a great bookend to that career. Or 200 wins was a great bookend to that career that really kind of solidified what I kind of agree with Jim. I think he's a borderline Hall of Famer. I think he'll end up getting in because of his longevity and his impact on the community. I think will sell out a lot of things there. But those 3, it's like we've all said at the end of the year. I've watched those 3 be Cardinals since my early 20s. And it solidified my fanhood as an adult, my kids' fanhood of the Cardinals. and it's going to be tough to replace those three. I don't even know, because it's not like Arenado and Goldschmidt, who are now kind of the faces. They're not those guys that, you know, came up as youngsters and we grew up. We watched them grow up in front of us.
Well, that's what the hope of Walker, you know, is, and
Walker,
some of these young guys.
We can only hope that those guys are that next generation of those guys in order to replace that, because I don't know that you're ever going to find that again.
Well,
in baseball.
And I'll jump in on a little bit on what Jim said, you know, about him being a Hall of Famer. I think it will be difficult for him to be a Hall of Famer because he did have he had 2 seasons that were basically lost seasons, as far as him having the Tommy John surgery and then when he hurt his Achilles. But here's the thing too. When you look at baseball and the baseball writers, there's going to have to be a shift on what kind of pitchers you're voting into the Hall of Fame, because it used to be guys who would get 300 wins. Some notable guys that I happen to look up that aren't Hall of Famers that had 200 plus wins, and this is like low 200. How about Mark Burley? Mark Burley had 200 wins. Kevin Brown had 200 wins. Schilling, 200 wins. Tim Hudson, 200 wins. I've watched all those guys pitch, and I think those guys at the top of their game were some of the best pitchers in baseball.
Schilling's not. I mean,
but here's what I'm going to say.
Whoa. Hang on. How are you saying Curt Schilling is not a Hall of Fame pitcher?
How many people? How many? And this is where I'm going to go with this.
Oh boy.
How many writers? And I hate. Once again, we had this discussion a while ago. I hate the voting process for the Hall of Fame. I think it's an absolute joke. It's antiquated. It needs to be. That needs to be torn down and completely built up. But with the way it is right now, how many writers that vote for the Hall of Fame has Adam Wainwright ever ticked off? Not one. Look at his impact in the community. I mean, 200 wins. Okay, that gets you in a conversation. Curt Schilling, no. He irritated everybody in the world. Mark Burley, I think, should have a shot.
That's not that Jim, because you irritate people is not something that should keep you out of the Hall.
But
it's
a
go ahead to Barry Bonds.
But it could. But it does.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that's. And once again, that's what I say. This system needs to be absolutely destroyed and redone.
Okay.
Because beat writers take offense to some of these guys.
Okay. So and I'll throw another one out there that's probably piss some people off. John Lester has 200 wins. You know, Roy Halladay's in the Hall of Fame. He has 203. Just throwing that out there. Oral Hershiser is not in the Hall of Fame, and he has 200 wins.
Oral Hershiser's not in the Hall of Fame.
204 wins.
I didn't know that. I thought he was.
Nope.
Sorry.
Vida Blue.
Wayno.
Vida Blue. Vida Blue is not in the Hall of Fame.
Sorry, Wayno. Because who did he pitch in the era of when he pitched? You've got Scherzer, you've got Verlander, you've got Kershaw. I mean, who else can we name?
Yeah.
But I just that didn't happen in Wayno. Take the red jacket and be happy with that.
Oral Hershiser's only made the All-Star game 3 times. 1 Cy Young, 3 All-Stars. That's it. That's it.
It's interesting.
I'm looking at it right now.
We're not disputing what you're saying. It's just interesting.
World Series MVP.
Yeah. And he's got, he had that record for scoreless inning streak too.
50 some odd.
Yeah.
You've got to think, how many of these guys have, and you have to throw it in, and we'll say it is kind of like within the Heisman voting, got those Hall of Fame moments that they can write on.
Oral Hershiser has a Hall of Fame moment.
Yeah, yes, he does.
Yeah,
he should.
Yes, he does.
I'm with
even Curt Schilling has a Hall of Fame moment.
Yeah, a bloody sock, man.
But can I just say this? Curt Schilling is a.
But yes,
he's opinionated.
So, Kenny Rogers 200 and some odd wins, 219.
Great
No Hall of
fried
Fame.
chicken, though.
Joe Necro.
But who's the only pitcher, though, 200 wins and 10 home runs as a pitcher? It's never been done. It has never been done.
Oh, never been done.
Tim Wakefield has 200 wins. Rest his soul.
Yeah, that was devastating earlier this week when that came out. Because he's just a consummate great guy.
Even if he's not, I think in Waino's going to be the kind of guy that his entire likelihood in life is not going to be built around getting or not getting into the Hall of Fame. He's going to be perfectly fine with being the guy wearing the red jacket at every open
playing
day.
in a band or something.
Yeah,
but look at this group though. In our era, that's going to be wearing red jackets in the next maybe 2-3 years. You got Holiday, you're going to have Waino, you're going to have Yachty, you're going to have Pujols. That's 4 pretty good dudes that have played on teams that we've had an opportunity to watch and to see them. And a lot of other teams, you can't say that.
Ed Rowland, Ed Edmonds.
Yeah.
I was upset Freeze didn't accept the thing.
I was too, but I understand. And you know what? David Freeze is a stand-up guy. Has he made mistakes? Absolutely he has. But he's a stand-up guy. And he didn't want to go in based on 1 home run in the postseason.
It was more than 1 home run in that series. Come on.
He hit a triple, too. Come on.
But see, that's the thing.
You guys know what I mean.
Did the fans vote him in?
Yes.
There you go. Then you say, thank you, fans. I appreciate your vote. I will take the red jacket because that's why you play the game.
I think at some point David does accept it at some point to go in. And it's probably going to be someone like just Wainwright or someone along those lines telling him, come on, we've gotten in, all these other guys that got in. You just come join us. Just come. You've got one of the greatest moments in Cardinals history. Come be part of this.
Yes. And you're from St. Louis.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe someday. I don't know. Maybe he does some more stuff with the Cardinals, and then
it's probably 5 to 10 years. It's probably when Mo is not part of it affiliated, because I think that I've heard or read that there's something there between those two.
Oh yeah, there absolutely is, and I've heard that from numerous people that there was something there, and
he's got problems.
And I think that.
Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah. No. I was just going to say he's got problems with I don't know, Cardinal Nation. So hundreds of thousands of fans.
So it's funny though. You're talking about Mozeliak. I don't know if you guys, and I forgot to send it to us in the group chat, but not this morning, but yesterday morning on 101, Randy Carricker talked about the Cards missing out on Max Scherzer in 2014. Did you see that story?
Yep, I saw it.
So I'll just read it so everybody has context. In the 2014 offseason, Scherzer received a 7-year, $210 million offer from the Nationals. He contacted Adam Wainwright and said, I got this offer from the Nationals. I want to pitch in St. Louis. Call your guy and tell him just to be in the ballpark. They don't need to match. After Wainwright reached out, the Cardinals never made a call to Scherzer or his representatives.
We're lucky Wainwright stayed here. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, we're lucky he stayed here. I as a player here, I'm going to bring in one of the best pitchers in the league.
Yep.
And maybe win another series. I mean,
he won one for the Nationals. He brought a World Series title to Washington.
What is wrong with you? And the Cardinals.
Be patient, Jason. Just be patient.
The Cardinals, they're making money. And finally, this year, I saw fans not showing up. Finally.
Yeah, but they still hit over 303 million, and they're still in the top 5.
When you reduce your tickets to $5, everyone's buying them. Yes,
$5 tickets.
Jason, I get you. Jason, I understand. They're making their money. They think that they don't have to make changes, and that's why I think Mozeliak is one of the worst GMs in the league.
And that's why I haven't bought a Cardinal ticket in 5 or 6 years.
Technically, Mo is not the GM.
He's the president,
director of baseball operations.
He's a POBO.
He's the one pulling the strings.
Yeah.
While we're talking about the Cardinals,
I didn't go to one game this year, And in the 19 years that I've been here in St. Louis, this is the first year that I did not go to one game.
I only went because Dylan was the sports
right
thing.
The scholar athlete.
But I mean, we're talking about all this, and Marmol still has a job. And how many? I mean, we fire Matheny, we fire Schilt, and this dude has one of the worst seasons
historically in 30 years,
and we don't fire him. Oh, well.
When's the last time we finished behind the Cubs? Enough said right there.
2016.
Yeah, 2017.
It's been a long time.
Well, I mean, I saw something today where I'm not sure. Again, you're reading Twitter or whatever, but if that Mozeliak is like Boston's interested in Mozeliak,
go
please go.
I hope Boston gives Mozeliak the same deal that they gave Billy Bean, and Billy Bean turned it down in Moneyball.
Don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you.
Yes.
You didn't even say the door.
And by
the doorknob. Wow.
Dave brought up a good point.
Yes, he did.
How about my brother said? How about finishing behind the Pirates?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's bad.
It is.
When's the last time that happened?
Probably about 30 years ago, I'm guessing.
The Willie Stargell era.
Maybe back when there was actually, an East and a West, and that was about it in divisions. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a very interesting transitional period here for the Cardinals between this era of the Wainwright, Yachty, and the leftovers here. Well, I don't know where Kevin just took off.
Well, the way he stormed out, you'd have thought he might be having something done tomorrow.
Don't drink it.
Whatever you do. Oh, it's probably because soccer's starting. He's probably getting.
That's what in about 10 minutes up in Vancouver.
Hey, guess what, Jim? You can turn the TV on and do this at the same time. I've watched plenty of people do it.
By the way, some more.
Hold on. Today is the first day in the next 44 days that there is a football game on.
That there
Whether
isn't?
college, that there is. I'm
is.
watching Jacksonville State, Middle Tennessee right now on my TV.
That doesn't even count.
Office.
That doesn't even count.
Oh gosh, shut up.
Gosh, listen to
what now? Dion left. They don't. Jackson State doesn't count. Or what?
Doesn't count.
Boy, they're 2-2 now.
So, I'm just really fascinated by this list of pitchers who have won this many games of my lifetime, and they're not in the Hall of Fame. CC Sabathia, 251.
He'll get in.
Bartolo Colon
gotta be in.
Bartolo Colon, 247. Andy Pettit, 256.
I don't know about Colon. He just played forever.
Pettit will get in because Jeter will go to bat for him until they vote him in.
HGH. He took HGH and he admitted it. So the writers said, no, that's steroids. You can't be in.
Who cares?
Let's see. Mussina got in. Jamie Moyer, 269.
Dang,
how about that guy?
I didn't realize he had that many.
Jamie Moyer pitched for a quarter of a century.
Well, that's what I was saying about Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, Colon pitched for 21 years. But yeah,
he pitched for the Indians. Enough said.
Well, yeah,
I'm sorry, the Guardians.
No. He pitched for the Cleveland freaking Indians. Okay,
yes, he did.
Okay,
not the stupidest name. Second stupidest name renamed team.
What
in
you
all
like
sports.
the football team? The Washington
football team.
The Washington football team would have been better. Would have been better because then you just had a logo that says WTF. WFT.
Because you
could have messed around.
Daniel Snyder. WTF because of Daniel Snyder.
I would have put it there. Washington the football.
Should have been the Washington Commandos.
That's
so
what
dumb.
I always said.
So dumb. I hope that tribe wins that lawsuit and they had to change the name back. That'd be so
I would love that.
Great.
I know. Isn't it interesting that the tribe is trying? I mean,
yeah.
You know what? And I remember the days back in Ohio when I used to go up to the old Municipal Stadium. Now the Jake is great, but the old Municipal Stadium was one of the best places to watch a baseball game back in the
he gone
80s, 90s, and Kevin has left.
No, I just brought it to us for time being. He comes back. Empty chair.
So, but and there's great pictures there. And I'm being sentimental when I say that Wainwright should be in it. I'm also looking at 200 wins, 10 home runs as a hitter. But I hope that the smart people in the room, and there's not very many of them right now for the Cardinals, but I hope the smart people in the room will put the three of those guys in at the same time. And believe me when I tell you, you're not going to be able to have that induction at Ballpark Village. You might as well do it at home plate in front of 50,000.
Yeah, that would be sweet. I want to get off the Cardinals thing because it's just depressing me. So I'm going to go back. I'm going off script because I can, and because I got flushed out. So we have the Mizzou football team's doing great, and you guys have been parts of schools. And that, like, when a football program is doing well, that like the start of the school year is awesome, right? Dude, that basketball coach is recruiting some kids, and that basketball team is going to be fun to watch. I cannot wait to go to Columbia to watch some basketball games this year, and what they went from and what he's already done. Man, awesome.
Dennis Gates. Is when they hired him, and he was at Cleveland State, and I've still got some good friends back in Northeast Ohio, and I talked to them and asked them about what they thought of him, and they flat out said he will recruit and he's going to surround himself with coaches that are going to get it done. And they all told me, don't be surprised if the Mizzou program is not competing for at least an Elite Eight within 2 to 3 years. And guess what? I think they got a hell of a shot this year.
Dude, I've been watching like all their because I joined a bunch of Mizzou stuff because Dylan's up there, of course. But I've been watching just all their press releases and watching some of the stuff they're doing in practice and just the excitement the kids at practice. It's awesome. There was a whole crowd of them at the game when I was up there at Columbia. The whole basketball team was walking around the stadium watching the game, and everybody's coming up to them. I mean, it's just a cool feeling up there right now.
Last year, we were setting up for the Norm Stewart Classic. Last year we had our first game at like 6:00. We were setting everything up. I was sitting courtside, and Mizzou was practicing, and I'm just sitting there, and it's just unbelievable. And then the assistant coach walks up, and he sits down, and we start chatting. And then Dennis Gates walks over, introduces himself. And he goes, so you do a lot of this high school stuff? I go, yeah. And he says, you got to keep me looped in on some of who the good high school kids are. We sat there and talked for 15 minutes.
So that's
the type of dude that he is.
Yeah, when we met him in Chicago, he was awesome. And his assistant coach, who used to be at SEMO, he's been all around. I can't think of his name, but he was awesome to talk to.
So that kind of brings me to something I brought up in our little chat here is Mizzou football 5-0. Dennis Gates doing a heck of a job recruiting. Does that help keep all of the local guys, all of the in-state guys?
It's
home?
starting to,
because
it's starting to.
I mean, you get every year you hear, hey, Notre Dame's getting this running back. Now you got Wingo that's I guess at Ohio State. You get all these guys, all these D1 guys that are. And even going to Illinois, I understand that a little bit, but can we keep all of these guys in state? And since we're talking about this stuff in football, I mean, DeSmet's got to have some dudes. They're rolling. They are. Is anybody going to give them a shot at a ball game this year? I mean, that's the way they dismantled CBC.
Oh man,
they are.
Liberty, Lee Summit North. And I've already gone on record and said right now, if the season ended where it did, this meant Liberty North, or not Liberty North, Lee Summit North are on a collision course. They're the two best teams in the state that I've seen this year. Now, once again, you've got to get through district play. The Smet's probably going to get another shot against CBC in the sectional, or I'm sorry, the quarterfinal. There's a lot to play out. But Zach, you hit it on the head. And we look at 5 years ago. How many D1 dudes were going to Mizzou? And you know what? I trashed Odom. I hated how Odom was recruiting. I thought he was a terrible recruiter for the St. Louis metro area. I thought Cordell Ford was terrible. And I as much as sometimes I question Drink on his coaching, because I still think he absolutely almost cost them the K-State game. Thank goodness.
Oh yeah, he
51-yard
almost
field goal. From the dude. I just think that he is starting to lock down the borders.
The thicker kicker.
Yep. You give Gates, if Gates can get out of the first weekend of the NCAA this year, I think a lot of the local kids are going to stay.
I mean, you get a boatload. You look at all the professionals teams and where they're from and the hometown that they're from. St. Louis is up there. They're like number 3 or number 4 in the amount of professional athletes, and that's all of the major sports.
Yeah, because we got a lot of talent here.
But look at your top 3 this year, though. And Chris, I'm sorry, but look at your top 3 right on the Mizzou football team. Where are they from?
Well, the team you just mentioned out west is the big D end, the 5-star.
I'm talking offensively. Cook,
no, you got Burton and
Cook. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about high school stars.
Kramer are 3 Missouri guys
from St. Louis.
Well, Cook's from Columbia, right? Is
Cook,
he not?
No,
he's from St. Louis. I was thinking
Chaminade.
of the other quarterbacks from Columbia. My bad.
So
yeah.
Zach, you hit it on the head, dude. I think with the success that everything is going to, I really think that they're doing a great job in locking down the border. They're still going to lose some kids. They still don't have the best TV deal out there. The Big Ten and the Big Ten, what they're doing with their TV deal now and all that stuff. But I'm telling you, kids are going to want to come to Mizzou because they're getting back to where they were when Tinkle was there.
Well, and the thing is too, I've watched Dennis Gates run practice with Mizzou 2 years in a row at the clinic. And I gotta say, Dennis Gates wants to be a part. Matter of fact, I believe he has accepted the big college liaison position with the Missouri Basketball Coaches Association.
Cool.
He wants to be that involved. Jim mentioned that he wants to know about the local kids. He wants to be involved with the high school coaches, because he knows that there's so much talent in this state that if he doesn't have some kind of connection with these coaches, he's not going to get them. He spoke at the Missouri clinic, he did practice at Missouri clinic. He went and spoke at the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association clinic, or whatever that's called. He's trying to keep these kids here. And a matter of fact, I'm taking my kids this Sunday. I'm taking my basketball players, and we're going to watch his practice because I just want them to see it. I just want them to see what kind of stuff that he does, how his players are. He has such a great family mentality with his practices that kids nowadays want to play for a guy like that.
Yeah,
because he can be hard on them, but he also knows how to be the guy to put the arm around a guy. I watched him tear down a dude, and it looked like it wasn't even that big of a deal. And when you're sitting there thinking, like, man, he raked him over the coals in front of 800 dudes, and that kid took it in stride, man. He was, coach, and he was a freshman. So it wasn't like it was some senior that he did to a freshman. And it's really good. I have a lot of respect. I know a lot of people disagree with some of the philosophy stuff, like not having a rim running post player and running to the outside and stuff. But you know what? He's got a reason for why he does it. It works for him.
He runs. Look at the offense they run. And we're all basketball coaches. Look at the offense they run. They don't need a rim runner. They don't need that dude. They need guys that are going to play defense. His coaching style is Jerry Tarkanian 2.0. Guards
that's a good comp.
guards that can shoot the lights out of the ball, can handle it, and then can play 96 feet of defense.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. So they've got a 7'5" white kid that it looks like he's skin and bones. In the face, he looks like Dirk Nowitzki because he's got long hair and a beard. And what does he do? He ran right to the corner. They kicked him the ball, and he pulls and shoots a three, and Gates stops, and he stops everybody and goes, "You guys would probably think I'm crazy, but you know what? That's the shot I want him to shoot." And I'm going, he's 7'5". He's shooting a three, and you know what? He hit it. I mean, it's like, wow. Like, where did this guy come from? He's like a fifth-year grad student or something from Arkansas. But, just I hope being a guy. I mean, I wasn't fortunate enough to go to Mizzou, because if I probably had a better counselor and some parents who understood the college process, that's where I would have went. That's where I wanted to go. So I stuck with the state school that was close and went to SEMO. Woohoo. But, I've always been a Mizzou fan, and to see them turning the corner in basketball and having such a good year with football. And then you see the kids. I mean, again, I want to tell that story real quick about Otto Porter Jr., who's a kid that I followed. I've known since he was in 6th, 7th grade. Unbelievable player from here in Missouri. Came from a small Class 1 school in down by Sykeston called Scott County Central. And Otto's dad, Otto Sr., was a very good ball player, played at Three Rivers and played at SEMO, and probably could have went and played, at the next level. He was that good. And Otto Jr. never played any AAU ball, but everybody knew who he was because his teams were in the Final Four. So he's had all these coaches come and watch him. And so when coaches would call, they would say, I would say, "Hey, if you want my son, you need to come here to my house, have dinner with me and my family, be able to look me in the eye and have a conversation about your plans for my son." And Coach Carlton, as I like to call him, who's at Mizzou. I don't even know. I can't even remember his name. Frank Hay. He sucks. I called Coach Carlton because he sucked. What does he do? He sends his assistant coach.
Yeah.
Because Otto wanted him to go to Mizzou. He'd played at Mizzou Arena in the Final Four for 4 years. He wanted him to go there. Well, guess what? John Thompson III showed up at his house, had dinner with him, and Otto goes and in his second year at Georgetown as the Big East Player of the Year, and he's the 3rd overall pick in the NBA draft, and he's had a fine NBA career. That's the kind of kids that we would lose to some stupid-ass coaches at Mizzou because they were too good to do that. And Dennis Gates is a guy who would show up to a kid's house and have a conversation. He's that genuine, and I hope that he continues on that and we don't lose him to a bigger school with a boatload of money. That's just me. I had to say it.
I agree.
Yeah, but if he's digging in and wanting to be that invested, I guess with all the local high schools, maybe that bodes well.
I hope so. I think it's a good sign anyway. Well, I know that Jim's ready to go because he wants to go and watch a game where no one's going to score for the next half hour to an hour. So exciting.
That sounds so exciting.
I'm going to go ahead and watch some paint dry on this wall. I'm going to watch some paint dry over here. And
Jarvis is going to drink some electrolytes.
Yes. By the way, City, #1 seed in the West, all roads to the MLS Cup go through St. Louis. Thank you very much. I just want that out there.
And
right, that's not the only publicity they've had today.
Oh,
didn't even know they were playing. They got uniforms and everything. It's great.
They got everything, man. They've even got like many soccer balls, not just one.
Hey, one of these days, maybe I'll just show up and be like, "Wow, this is a soccer game." I have no idea. Only been to one in my entire life.
You've only been to one.
Jim was there.
I documented it.
That's right. Well, anyway, thank you guys for being a part of the show. Kevin had a small semi-parent emergency. His daughter's not feeling very well, and he had to go and clean up a mess. So, yeah.
Like Jarvis last night.
No messes, dude. Nope. I hit the toilet.
That's the final part of the night, kid.
And but anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon you can catch a brand new episode of On the Move at the Caravan Sports Preview Show with our very own big time Jim Powers. And eye roll inserted. And again, we will most likely and hopefully be back next week for another episode of the Coach's Box. Guys, we just keep rolling along, man. That's what we do.
Absolutely. Great stuff, guys.
So anyway, for all the guys here and Jason, who's ready to go to bed,
he looks like it.
You guys have a great night.
Dude. He's ready.
God bless. We'll see you all again sometime soon.
This episode of the Coach's Box, Call It Like We See It podcast is brought to you by Off the Rails Media. Life's more fun when you're off the rails.